Marilyn Manson, born villain. Manson says that he intends this to be his comeback album, and I hope it is. I'd like to believe it is. I think that'll all depend on how well it's promoted. But do I think the album is strong enough to bring Manson back into mainstream attention? Maybe. His last two albums I thought were kind of mediocre and didn't get a whole lot of attention. While Eat Me Drink Me had a sort of bluesy charm to it, the high end of low was pretty boring. And at first when I heard that Manson was releasing yet another album, I feared that this would be pretty much the same. The few samples of music that you can hear in the Born Villain video didn't impress me all that much. They sounded kind of bland. Although the Born Villain video itself made me quite hopeful because it seemed like Manson was starting to get back to what he used to be about. When the first singles came out, I thought they were okay, but they didn't really impress me all that much either. I thought No Reflection was a half-decent song, but it didn't really blow my mind. And You're So Vain was cute and kind of fun, but also not that impressive. So when I sat down to actually listen to the album, the first few songs weren't terrible, but they didn't make me very hopeful for the rest of the album either. But once I got up to Slow Motion, things started to sound a little bit more innovative and a little bit more interesting. And from that point on in the album, I actually did start to get pretty impressed. Sounds like Slow Motion and The Gardener do not sound like your typical Manson songs. Also, when I heard that Manson intended this to be his comeback album, I thought to myself, now if I were Manson and I wanted to write a Manson comeback album, what would I make it sound like? And I thought, well, he should do some songs like Coma White that have some interesting melodies, or he should do some songs like Astonishing Panorama that are really hard and fast and exciting sounding. And I was pleasantly surprised that there are a couple of songs that actually live up to that standard. Lay Down Your Goddamn Arms has a fantastic chorus, for example. And Murderers Are Getting Prettier Every Day is the most metal sounding song that Manson has done in like 3 albums. And now that Manson isn't quite in the limelight like he used to be, he has a lot more breathing room to do more freaky stuff, and I hope he goes in that direction. There hasn't been a Manson concert that's been protested by Christians in a really long time now, it seems. And considering how interesting his stuff was when Christians were breathing down his neck, imagine the kind of shit he can get away with now that they have their backs turned. Manson has a real opportunity here to get really out there, and I hope he takes advantage of it. The Born Villain video and the Born Villain album are a pretty good start. Let's hope he keeps up the good work.